Welcome back to my page, my channel, or whatever it's called, wherever you're at. On Facebook, it's a page. On YouTube, it's a channel. Um, uh, if you're new, I'm Khalil. They call me KC. No, my name is KC. They call me Khalil. Uh, I came here to discuss combat today. Been away for a while because y'all know I told y'all the next time y'all see me that I would be here and not over there where I was. That's all total music now. This is all just this right here for us to do this. I got my little cubby hole. Y'all see, I set it up. Only thing I'm not that happy with is like the little Christmas tree lighting things down in the corner there. I think I want to replace that with some kind of a statue of like my favorite combat. So yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about some things today. First, man, I want to show y'all where I'm at, man. If anybody's wondering where I'm located, I'm in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Now, look that up on the map. You got your device or whatever, and then you'll see this is where I am right here. That's really where I am. That's that's what it looks like outside. So I just wanted to do that little thing here, man. It comes with this little app that I'm using, man, as I'm making this tape video. Used to be tape. That's how old I am. We used to do this shit on tape. Wasn't no digital, man. It wasn't stored to a little tiny device that you could play it back. You had a big ass tape player. Just going back. But anyway, man, what's the first thing I want to talk about? First thing I want to say is shout out to all the boxing channels in the boxing community, no matter who you are. And this is important. Why? Because when I ain't got nothing to do and I got a little spare time, man, I'm listening to boxing channels. And I've been doing that for 10 years. Consistently. Started out on my phone. I've already said the individuals who I've seen the most, but I want to talk a little deeper about that boxing community, man, because listen, man, it's unique, man. Now, one thing about us, I'm speaking as a black man now, we used to love to talk about Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, Bruce Lee. Man, we've been into combat for so long. I mean, intimately. And then, we had to perform on the streets as well. Some of us took that to another level. Me with the Navy, I was a heavyweight champion in the smokers, man, out of the whole division. Um, uh, but when you are engaged in this community, man, you know, I wouldn't get a chance to hear from other people like me, combat sports lovers, live on the phone interview if it wasn't for Champ Side. I wouldn't get all the specific details about what's going on behind the scenes if it wasn't for Showbiz the Adult. I wouldn't get a chance to get the racial card aspect that's going on in the sport that we know of if it wasn't for Dante's Boxing Nation. You understand? I wouldn't know that anybody really loved Devin Haney if it wasn't for 78 Sports. But but listen, everybody brings something unique to the table. So quit attacking each other. It's not necessary. And everybody talking about they the best. And this is my main point right here. The only thing that's gonna prove who is the best at this, analyzing boxing and watching them do it, is when the fight comes up, put your money up. You got so much confidence in what you see and what you know. When it comes fight night, show us how much money you got on your fighter, who you prefer. Now I want to transition from that into I'm hearing these. Okay, this is it. This ties everything together because I got to do all of my shows in this one show. We got the MMA coming on tonight. I mean tomorrow, and then we got David Benavidez coming up on the 1st. And then, we got better be, so we got, and I'm still fine tuning the studio. All right, here we go. I'm hearing the dialogue, and the reason these guys have the dialogue is because we don't get that many great matches often enough. Thank God I'm a UFC fan now. I'm not trying to pit one against the other, but thank God for me, man, that as a combat lover, I ain't got to wait no months to see a good match. Now that segues me into what's coming up tomorrow. Listen, people are salivating over the promise of Crawford Canelo, but tomorrow night we got Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsaryukian. Man, I don't know if y'all boxing fans understand the gravity of that fight. If you know the history of that fight, how Tsaryukian, he got his start, his debut against Islam Makhachev. And it was a good fight. Now he's destroyed everybody in his path and they get ready to fight again. Y'all feel me on those implications? It's the same kind of juices get built up, man, when a good fight. So I ain't got to wait till the first to David Benevidez. Tomorrow night, I will be totally embroiled in some serious combat sports, and then the fight, the uh, the the main event and the co-main event. The co-main event is banging. So I don't have any stats or anything pulled up in front of me. I wanted to come here, and I wanted to get my first scene off. Because I don't have any time to do a whole lot of editing. I got to get this in. Tomorrow is the fight. And also, my Detroit Lions are playing tomorrow. I don't know what time they playing, but I hope they don't coincide with the UFC. Even if they do, I'm gonna have to watch them both. I got enough technology to do that. So anyway, I need to go ahead and get this thing finished, edit it out, get it out either late tonight or early tomorrow. Uh, Analyze and enjoy that event tomorrow, and then I got just that one little week to finish this whole thing up that I'm doing here, man. All right, so that said, I'm gonna go back to these conversations now. Talking about the Four Kings. Yes, I heard about Javante being zesty. Yes, I heard about Terrence Crawford and Javante Davis going back and forth at it. And see, this is the stuff. This is what I'm saying. This is why y'all don't see me that much. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I don't care about that. But I do want to jump in on that Javante Davis. Somebody affected me in a personal kind of way because for the last 3 days I've been hearing them really getting emotional about Tank and really demanding that Tank fight somebody significant because they want them to. But I can't take that position. I'm gonna say it like this. As a combat sports lover, I am thankful that I got a chance to watch that young man fight. Yes, I hope he continues to fight and fights bigger fights, more challenging fights. But I can't be mad and push him into it. I'm sitting here at home. I'm in the Upper Peninsula. Y'all want me to show y'all where I'm at again? I'm in the Upper Peninsula. I can't tell Tate to do nothing. But the influence that we do have is what I'm doing now. Right? And so here's my take on the whole thing. I don't have to make show after show after show on this. My shows will stand the test of time because I stand behind what I say. And come fight night, we're going to be cashing out or we're going to be going home with our tails tucked because we're committed to what we believe. That's what's gonna make the show stand out. I don't care what kind of gimmick you got. I don't know. I don't care how many personalities you know. I don't care how many fights you want to go to. Let me lose my train of thought. There's 2 points I want to talk about: going to live events and watching them from home, and that one thing that I was talking about before I just went on this little rant, and that was that conversation between the four kings. The reason that we're even having that conversation is if you notice, man, the boxing community or the commentary community, the boxing commentary community, the platforms and the shows, predominantly black, because was part of our culture growing up. So this is a unique opportunity for us to discuss these things, to talk about that sport we love. Of course, I like both of them. So I'm one of the few boxing commentators that does both. So those guys are highlighted because that conversation started in the Black community, so to speak. Of course, professionals noticed how great their talents was, but we held them up to the standard that they was better than everybody. Are dudes better than Garcia? There's dudes better than them that don't get the shine that they get, right? So listen, man. As far as them dudes fighting each other, man, I think they all on some bullshit. Straight up. No talk, no joke, no. Man, you know what I'm saying? They might have some kind of special agreement. Yeah, let's just toss this shit back and forth, back and forth. Let's just get the people all wild up and juiced up, and then we'll have a fight and make oogles of millions of dollars. Who knows? I don't know why we're not getting the best fighting the best. I don't have an answer. And I can't sit here and have debates and arguments about why I think. And yes, I have favorite fighters, of course. But as an analyst, man, I'm finna bring that to the table. I'm finna bring what I think is about to happen in a particular fight. Does this fighter have the stamina to stick with this fighter right here from what I've observed? Does this guy right here have the power to withstand these guys' punches right here? What I think about that? And when we go to that moment, bingo, we're going to be betting. We're doing live. I am. I gotta find me a book. See, that's what I need next week. For I need after tomorrow night. I get a chance to focus on okay, who I'm betting with. Then I gotta figure out my graphics here because when the big fights happen, I will be live. My bets will be posted, and the losses and the earnings. Now I first said we was gonna start out with 5,000, but no, I gotta back down because I had to put a certain amount of money away. Right, we can start with about 2 grand. Like that and see if we can grow that thing just by betting wisely. That's my objective here on this show. So I want to take a look while we're here, man. Since I'm flowing, I'm in the flow. Listen, I don't have no audience. If you feel like you want to subscribe, you can do so. But I really ain't come here to beg, man, for support. Of course, my channel ain't gonna make no money if people don't comment, if they don't subscribe, that kind of thing. But I didn't come here to beg for that, man. You know what I'm saying? That comes natural with you knowing what you're doing and talking about. All right, am I the best? Nope. I don't think any of us is the best, but I think us together as a group are a hella dynamic, smart ass bunch of combat sports analysts, because that's what they do. They analyze that shit. All right, so let's look at man. Look, I'm gonna finish show. I'm finna for my boxing fans. Let me show y'all what y'all got coming tomorrow. I mean, wait, what y'all missing tomorrow? Because most boxing people don't mess with MMA. So I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna open up a screen and I'm gonna share it with y'all in a minute. Just give me a second to go ahead and do it. I got to get good at my online skills now. What's new in Chrome? I don't want to know. Come on, man. I don't want to know what's new in Chrome. What you talking about, man? What do I want? I want what's that? UFC 38? 320? Uh, Dang, I can't even remember. Tomorrow night UFC fight card. How about that for a search? It should pop up. Let's see. Watch time stats. Is that what I want? Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna view the card. All right, guys, I got something here. First of all, let me show y'all this. This is where we're gonna start it, guys. All right, so I'm gonna go back to Zoom here. I'm gonna share my screen. Bingo. How about that? That screen right there. All right. All right, y'all see me way over here in the corner of this little video thing? Let me see if I can open me up some. I don't need to be that small. I need to be seen and heard on this. Tomorrow night, this is what's coming up, guys. Look at these guys. These guys are both from the same area. This guy is from Armenia, but he works and lives out in Russia. And this guy is from Dagestan. This guy here is the heir apparent to Nurmagomedov, Habib Nurmagomedov. That is his heir apparent. They got that lineage from Habib's dad. I think his name is Hamimamad. Their names are hard to say for me right now, especially because I cheeked up before I came online. I always do. Here's the second fight. Oh my God, I want to talk about this. Morrell Dhavishili versus Umar Nurmagomedov, and he's in the family too. Now listen. Now I got to go back to the main event. I like Tsaryukian for this fight. Now I'm not gonna bet the house, but I'm putting a full bet on our Armin. I just like his chances. I just think this is the right time for Islam to suffer a defeat because he hasn't. The man's the champion. The second fight, though. Marab just won the championship from Sugar Shane O'Malley. Umar's been coming up in the ranks, and we've been watching them. Now, here's the difference between the two fights. I got Tsaryukian, and I'll tell y'all why. And I got Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov's kicks are so fast, this man will kick you in your face before you can even get your hands up. A hard kick. He's just built like that. The guy can fight. I don't think Morrell Dhavishili has the defense. No, he's got the defense. I don't think he has the offense to stick with Umar. Umar will look better than him in that fight. This first fight, Islam is the champ. It's hard to go against him. The man, he's special. But so is Tsaryukian. Tomorrow we're going to find out just how special he is. And I'm willing to bet that he's just as special as Machechev. That's it. Oh, man, tomorrow night. Look, guys. Jiri Prochazka and Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is not a social media sensation. He's like me on social media. We absolutely suck on social media. But that fight, listen, man. Jiri, man, was practicing some bad habits against Alex Pereira, and I don't know that he had time enough to correct them. Jamal Hill, even though he gets steamed online in the comments. I mean, they be absolutely roasting Jamal. Jamal can fight his ass off. Unfortunately, he took that shot from Alex Pereira and got knocked out. Oh my God, Dariush, I'm tired of seeing him fight. But Moicano gonna finish Dariush. Kevin Holland, he's such a bullshit guy, man. I just quit believing in him. I don't know which Kevin Holland is gonna show up. You just don't know. I couldn't even bet on that fight. So far, Moicano, Jamal Hill, Nurmagomedov, Tsaryukian, they're all lined up just right under each other. Those are my picks. I don't have my betting thing set up yet because I've been so busy trying to do the studios. So here's our prelims. These are guys I don't know. Now, y'all know also one of my main staple shows will be, I'm sorry, I can't focus on the camera that much. Will be upcoming fighters to watch. That will be in both boxing and UFC. I've already got a list started. It's in here. I bought it in here. I made sure I bought it. Here are my latest picks, man, just so y'all know, man. I've been watching these guys. Felipe Lima, UFC, holler at me, man. I know the guy's a beast. And Joel Alvarez. Those are my latest two fighters to watch. I just learned about them. These guys are dynamic killers. All right? So I'm just going to kind of scroll down this card here. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I don't need to make a super long show. I just need to get my word out there. Now, y'all know this guy, Jaltan Almeida. He is absolutely a beast. Spivak has absolutely no chance. Bogdan is good, man. I don't know Billy Elikana. That's the thing about the UFC, man. There'd be so many fighters that you don't know. They coming in, man. Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira. We'll see, man. I'm not that familiar, so I couldn't pick on those fights. But man, listen, that is just the start of tomorrow's fight card. Check this out. There's the early prelims. Let's see who we got on there. And that's where we got to watch for the up and comers at, because they'll be having their debuts. They'll be coming from extremely successful backgrounds. If you debut in the UFC, you've been kicking some ass. Uh-oh, Ricky's back. Ricky Tercios. Yeah, the early card looks kind of weak, but you never can tell, man. But anyway, those are a lot of fights, right? That's tomorrow. So you see how when you love boxing and you cover MMA, that you find yourself just waiting for matches, just salivating in. I'm glad that Turkey Al-Sheikh is now on the scene, that he's able to help us get more of the fights that the people want to see, because it is. It's about us. It's about listen. Without the fans, the boxer would just be in a room somewhere boxing for a few other people. But with all of us, we pay tickets, we pay pay-per-views. You know, we buy the fights, we support the fights, and so there it is, right there, man. So happy to be with y'all, man. Listen, I'm sorry, I don't really depend on YouTube to pay my bills or anything like that. Fortunately, I don't have to do that. But I am here now. I told y'all I'm the new kid on the block. Uh, and I'm here, man, basically because I love combat sports. Y'all probably can tell that just by me talking. So yeah, man, that's all I really get, man. I thought this was gonna be a hard show, man. I just did it like from top to bottom. Is there anything else I probably should talk a little bit more. Let me talk, man. Let me talk my shit, man. Let me see what I gotta cook on, man. What is it that I want to cook on? I just want to cook on being a new channel, man, because I don't feel the support, man, from the community. Like nobody never really welcomed me or anything like that, which that should happen with us. Now, yesterday I was watching the lead up to this fight card right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the screen right quick. We went through it, guys. We went through that. And I was watching the Dagestanis in Dagestan. They all had these black horses. They was riding in the countryside on the mountain. They was having a huge barbecue. What I'm talking about, fresh meat, like right out the stall, fresh. Barbecuing together, they do everything together, man. I'm like, whoa, wow. I wish our boxing culture was like that. And these guys are all headed to be champions. It's like if Usman wins tomorrow, he'll be the third UFC champion from Dagestan. Um, I guess I'm trying to say, in this that closeness, man, and that strength, that there's strength in numbers, man. I seen that with them. I was like, man, them guys are pretty tight, man. I'm like, that's real too. They was on them Arabian horses, man. Woo, having just a good old time, man, together. I'm like, man, I ain't seen no American boxers do that. I am. I'm putting one against the other, not shooting. But the culture just needs a little help. The boxing culture, man, they need to. It's not healthy, man. It's like boxers are geared more toward being superstars than role models now. It's more so for the bag. That's how come we can't get the fights that we really need, because everybody wants the bag. Everybody want to get rich on boxing. I want to talk about Crawford Canelo. That's something I should talk about. Let me tell y'all something about Bud Crawford, man. I was thinking about it. I'm like, Kevin, what's really your involvement in combat sports, man? Well, I grew up on the streets and it was rough out there, and I knew who the heavy hitters were. There were some guys that just had it natural with their hands. That's Bud Crawford. But then Bud Crawford probably went another level because he was out there like that. He was probably the best at throwing those hands. Now, when you translate that, that's like a transferable skill, professional. Like now he's in the ring as a prize fighter. I've seen Terrence Crawford throw an overhand right. Terrence Crawford's overhand right is the most lethal weapon in all of combat sports. And I've only seen him throw it once. Devastated the dude. Terrence Crawford's overhand right was so fast, I think it could have killed somebody if he would have caught him just right. I mean, he was throwing that thing like, he was throwing it like it was 20 feet long, like, and I mean, with so much speed, man, you get hit with something like, you get hit with something like that, man, you going down in bunches. Terrence Crawford, what happened to the overhand right, bro? Man, I really need to see that thing, man. But this is what I'll say about Canelo Crawford. I think because of politics, the fight will come down to a decision. Unless I can contact Bud directly. Because if I was coaching Bud, I know what I would tell him. Now, see, I'm like a mojo man. Where I lack in stats, I'm strong in instincts because I did fight. Bud's got a temper. And if you make Bud mad, I don't think there's very few people that can stand across from Bud because he gets so mad and he knows how to translate that anger into his physical. You can see it too. I'm gonna kill you. That's kind of like what it is. He has that more than anybody. If Terrence gets mad at Canelo, they would have to stop the fight. If I could be in the corner with Terrence, I would like, he talked about your mama, man. He said your wife was fat. He said your wife was a fat, big, fat, greasy. I would, man, I would. Man, anybody ever seen Terrence fight? Man, I'm wondering why he's so calm lately. Like, man, ain't you mad at anybody? He's the most vicious fighter. Him and Tank both. So that was the one thing I wanted to talk about. Is because these guys are African American and us in the African American community, we tend to talk about them because they are our favorite fighters more than anybody. And there's guys out there that can take them both out right now. You know what I'm saying? We're just so focused on them. We're just not focused on anybody else. But as an MMA lover, man, I'm designed to look out for who your next opponent is. Like even I love as much as I love Terrence Crawford, I already figured out who's gonna be the next guy to take him out if he fight him. Gervonta Davis, I know. All right, that's what I want to talk about. But okay, so I told y'all about Canelo Crawford. Gervonta Davis, I want to get into the argument right quick. I'm gonna join the argument. I said I wasn't, but I'm just gonna say this right here. Because this is the only argument that anybody has against Gervonta Davis. They try to use his record, his resume. They say he hasn't fought anybody, that he's ducking anybody. But if you've been in this game as long as I have, I came into boxing at Joe Lewis's last fight when he was getting ready to retire. He had gotten old. And I remember my parents really emotional about that fight. And it was televised, and I was sitting there, and I remember that. That's when I came in. You know greatness when you see it. You don't have to know what his background record is. You don't have to know anything. All you need to do is see him. And you know it. When you see it, you know it. And it was like that with Lewis. It was like that with Ali. It was like that with Leonard. When you know it, when you see it, you just know. The man don't need none of that to be equal to any of those guys because when he stepped in the ring, He did what he was supposed to do. That's all that he knows how to do. We know that. Look, put Tank in the ring with somebody with super. I can't wait. Listen, I'm betting the house when he fights Shakur. Trust me on that. I got this house through Tio Lopez when everybody doubted him in his fight. I said, you know what? Tio can fight, and he gonna prove a point. I bet the house. I got my down payment on this house by that. If Tank agrees to fight Shakur, I'm betting the house on that fight too. Because when I look at Shakur and when I look at Tank, there ain't no comparison. And I know. See, I don't know sports. I don't know combat. I know combat. It's a difference. You can sit there and talk about how good you are all you want. Do you really know combat? I'm 67, by the way. 3 times in the gym, man. Good to be with y'all, man. I faced death over the last couple of years 4 times. Guess who won? That's right. Death is stalking, man, trying to take people out for any kind of reason. All you got to do is slip up. And thank God that I swam and ran a lot. That's how I used to get in shape for basketball and stuff. But I also love to swim and stuff. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I don't think my heart could have dealt with what it had to deal with, y'all. So y'all looking at a miracle man right here. Call me the Miracle Mojo man, for real. So yeah, man, that's my take on Gervonta. And y'all can classify me if you want to. I've talked about Gervonta before. I don't care who you put him in the ring. The guy only knows one way, man, and that's destroy. When you see that, you know that. Ali was a little bit more fancy because he could dress it up and make it look pretty. Where Gervonta is a straight up monster. Now, finally, I can't, and see, on every show, I always tend to forget some shit. My favorite fighter, I've got about 4 favorite fighters mixed across the UFC and boxing. David Benavidez is one of them. He exhibits that same spirit. Now, see, people throw that term around, warrior, loosely. We don't experience many warriors much. But when you're talking about a Gervonta Davis because see, look, if you took this group, a whole group of nation, and this group, a whole group of nation, these guys would be in the front. They would be the #1 warriors representing their nations. That's the kind of spirit they bring into combat. That's why we love it. So tomorrow, let me see, on the 1st, David Benavidez. Now, look, it took me a long time to decide to want to be a commentator. I seen it. I was attracted to it. I wanted to do it, but I knew I didn't know enough about boxing to want to get in front of the camera and talk. But only by years of experience can I do it. Have I been involved in just observing combat sports? Do you need more than that? No. And that'll bring me to my last point. Don't let me forget about doing the live show going to a live game versus home. See, I lost my train of thought on that right there. But I'll just go to that. There's no way you could get me to go to a live event. The only way I would go to a live event is if I had a female that really wanted to go and she just needed to get out and we ain't been out for a while. And then I would choose I would choose an event and go. But when it comes to David Benavidez versus David Morrell, that's what I was talking about. I got it back. I'm going to need to be watching the slow motion replays. I got to see it 2 times, 3 times. Before I can even come here and tell y'all what I think about a fighter, I need to be in the ring with him. And I can't be in the ring with him if I'm way in the nosebleed seats. Maybe one day in the future, I'll try to get some interviews. Y'all don't know me as an interviewer. People don't. But I have a journalism background at San Diego City College. That's what I do. I did that. I did a lot of that. I was in the telecommunications department. So that's my strength is sit across from me and we're going to talk. And I'm going to get the most out you in the best way. And the people haven't even really seen that. They've only seen me present as a presenter. Don't know me as an interviewer. But anyway, I might try to get a, I've been I was impressed with some things that I've been listening, seeing and hearing. Like Showbiz was at the last event, man, on the floor, doing a live broadcast. Champ Size going to the Super Bowl. He's got his press. See, that's what we do. We do that. Eventually I might do that, but right now at this point, I'm just, damn, man, I just locked myself into fandom. I'm just this great fan, right? Yeah, I couldn't get out what I needed to get from an event live and home because one little slip, I mean, the cameras are everywhere. And I think actually those live events are really designed for the people at home. They just put it in a place big enough where they can get ticket sales too. Because I'm sure that many people in the stadium would be watching at home if they weren't at the stadium. So David Benavidez and David Morrell, this is where forgot my train of thought. I came into this thing. I wanted to commentate. I was afraid, but finally I did. When I came in, I kept hearing everybody talking about a list of fighters. And then I had already had a list of fighters I had developed, right? But I couldn't understand how these guys over here was, and David Morrell was one of the guys that people was kept raving about. And I watched one of David Morrell's fights, and I'm like, I ain't saying the man can't fight. But there's a big difference between David Benavidez and David Morrell. And y'all gonna find out that on February the 1st. That's all I got to say about that. I ain't finna start no debate and no argument. I don't mind having one. You can come at me. Anybody can. We can have the debate, and you can start throwing stats. I'm like, man, no, man, I just don't see it. And that's what I really mean. That means that I've actually watched David, and I've actually watched David, and I said, this David. This is the David, not this one, this one. And that's it. It's just that simple for me. I'm not going to come on here and start talking about David's lifestyle, his weight, none of that. All I know that me and David Benavidez, we on that same metaphysical mindset level. What do I mean? Today, as most days, I'm wearing crystal quartz and black tourmaline. Look that up. Look up the holistic properties of both of them. Ask me what's been going on in my life over the last 2 years. Let me stop, man, before I get too weird for y'all, man. I don't want to get too weird for y'all. Yeah, I'm into some metaphysical, bro. Ooh, this house manifested. I manifested this house. I'm telling y'all, man, I was operating on some stuff. The TO fight was coming up. I got evicted. I got an eviction notice. I said, man, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Where I'm gonna go? I'm 9 hours from home. It's in the wintertime. What am I do? And the universe just responded. Like, this is what you do. Do this, do that, do this. And the last thing I did was bet all I had left on that Tio fight. Bam! Tio, stop, dude. I forgot who he even fought. Was that the Lomachenko fight? Man, I bet the house, man, and I got the down payment, and I was able to do the deal. Because I didn't have a whole lot of money laying around. Like I said, man, I was getting money from paycheck to paycheck, paying bills, man, trying to live as good as I could. I'm telling y'all, man, I had the summons to the universe for them lump sums, man. But anyway, man, that's a whole different conversation, right? Y'all know why we here. But anyway, man, I look forward to seeing y'all. Okay, I'm gonna make a promise because none of this would happen. None of this, not even me in front of the camera. None of this would happen if I hadn't spoken it into existence first. Because I told everybody that this was coming, man. I'm like, I'm headed somewhere with this. I don't know where, but I'm going. I'd like to bring y'all along. So far, nobody has come along with me on this journey. It's been a beautiful journey. But the commitment I want to make, man, is that on the David Benavidez fight, I'm going to go live. And that on the show is where I am going to start the betting fund. So I'm going to just basically put my graphics up. I'll be watching the fight. I'll report on the fight. Basically, I'm going to brag on David Benavidez, and I'm going to talk shit about David Morrell, point blank, man, while I watch my how much I get paid for that fight. That's my commitment, guys. And then I will start after that, after the first the Benavidez fight, I'll start working on fighters to watch show. And I'm gonna go, we'll do highlights and everything on these fighters. UFC and boxing. So stand by, guys. I love you guys. I hope you guys had a great turn of the season with the solstice and the equinox and all that stuff. The new year actually rolls around in March. So I still got from now till March to really end of the year kind of stuff, do my thing, right? And that's kind of the way it is around here, man. It's tough around here, man. I can't take a day off, man. Like I'm so fortunate that I've got this sports flow like this. Other than that, man, I'd have to do a bunch of editing, man. I just got to go take out a couple of pauses and stuff like that, throw some music in, put my intro on here. Y'all see this sweet ass show tomorrow, man. But welcome to my channel again. I'm here on YouTube. I made this video for YouTube. Of course, you'll be able to see it on Facebook too. They hating on me on Facebook, man. I started to make some monetization over there, and they shut me down. Won't even let me share nothing over there for no reason. And my page is in total good standing. But social media is a trip, right? All right, you guys have a good day, y'all. Hey, I didn't. Okay, so now I'll edit this video. Okay, I'm good. What do I got to do today? I ain't got nothing else to do. I just edit this video. Maybe I'll play my bass. All right, man. The music. Let me talk about that for a quick second. I got everything set up over there. I just got to get over there. So I'm trying to get the house out the way. Like I got living room furniture coming. I've been waiting for 2 weeks for it. Not staying home every day, but staying pretty close, man, because when it comes, I gotta be here. I had to go get my retinas checked yesterday down in Green Bay, 4 hours away. But I was able to get my new telephone, right? Because I live up in the upper peninsula of Michigan, man. This is the Nordic zone, man. This is the free zone, man. And the only place for me to get a phone was 4 hours away. I live in unincorporated township. I had to get a new phone, man. The only place I could get it was Green Bay, man. So I set up the phone deal with the iRetina thing. So I did the trip. It was 8 hours, man. Ooh, Crystal Falls, coming to Crystal Falls, Michigan. Oh my goodness. No one had been down this road. And it was like I couldn't see the road. It was all white, just white. And I just had to guess that this was the lane, right? Man, you're talking about hair raising. You're talking about tense. Man, I was so tensed up, right? All right, so like I was saying, man, welcome to my channel, man. Go ahead and support, man, because I ain't going nowhere, man. Y'all can hang out with everybody else. I don't care, but I just got my own way of seeing things, man. So, and I'm not going nowhere. And that's all I have. Wishing greetings to you guys, man. Peace and blessings, man.